Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. This time we've got a base for solos or lazy small groups that don't seem to farm. This impressive little base comes with 5 separate stability overhead bunkers. The outside of the base is wrapped in a seawall with undrainable shotgun traps. Bedrooms on every corner of the courtyard, fully equipped with Batrico peaks. Lastly, up top we have a nice mountain roof, providing more angles than you can even count. Stick around to the end of the tour to see that incredibly low upkeep.
Alright, jumping into our tour, you'll notice there's no externals. This is for lazy people. Please add externals to your base if you can. But you don't need them for this one, but you should. Outside, of course, we've got a seawall. This could be a new concept to some of you guys. Essentially, it's just a nice and easy jump up for base owners to use that, of course, can be broken, making life hard for raiders. Dropping down, we have undrainable shotgun traps covering all the angles. And then the long angles are covered by a turret behind a little bit of chain link. The trick goes into our shell, and then a little bit of a peek outside as well, which is nice too. 4 bedrooms, 1 on every corner, giving us lots of respawns for our small group. You'll see that opening our bedroom door actually creates a funnel as well, making it nice and safe to exit out of our bedroom and funnel people into those shotgun traps. Opening up the garage door, heading through and around to a breach peak will give us even more angles up and around down the bottom of the base, making that first floor really defendable for such a small base. Our tour now, we can come around all the way through. The base mimics its symmetrical by 2, except one side is going to give us our entrance into starter. A couple of garage doors later will take us through to a jump up and then our second floor. Second floor is just a spam of garage doors giving us some more storage. And you can see these bunkers are currently closed, the ones that I showed at the beginning. Opening up here, just a vending machine behind the door there, giving us a little bit more storage. And a couple more loot rooms and space for those electric furnaces, which are nice and overpowered. Keep them running the whole time, that's pretty much all you'll need in this small group. Then from there you can see we have 5 triangles total that we're going to break in a second here. Let's head outside. Heading outside, we can place these roofs, and that's going to pop all the triangles inside. Stability override bunker, easy peasy. And we can break those and come back in, and you can see it exposes our drop down to core. A couple of extra loot rooms here with our small boxes where you can store all of your valuable items. Feel free to armor these up. If you get lots of high quality, you can go for that. And of course our jump up to 3rd floor is also bunkered, so really nice and strong base here for those small groups, cheap too. Use code SPINKY before you jump on and play 2,000 slots, live games, the wheel, and coin flip. Coming back into our tour, we're in our core now. This is where you can keep your tier 3, your TC and such. Right now it's a 1 TC base. Of course I'd recommend some externals if you can. Furnace jump up again, in case you wind up needing more furnaces. And then jump up on top of jump up takes us finally out. Extra loot there. Couple more boxes on the roof to help you spread everything across. You can see our mountain roof is vast. It comes with lots of peaks down below and head glitches out far away. There are 2 turrets that cover this roof perfectly, providing no blind spot whatsoever. And we've got really nice angles down and below here, and the roof is super stable, which is perfect for any potential raids we could get. A little bit of chain link here, and I'll show you how to utilize that in a minute. Roof's pretty good though. We can get some beds up here and some really naughty angles that people might not expect to be peaked from. Just countless angles up here on roof. Came together really nice, and of course, looks pretty clean too. Head glitches, spots for heavy pot, all that good stuff. Following the roofs further around, we can take a look at this chain link peak. Now if we jump up from here, gives us an angle down below through that chain link, keeping us safe from far away. So they can't spray through the double, but they can spray through the single, so keep that in mind. There's a daily free case where you can win up to 2 grand. Everything's in the description down below. And remember, gambling is a source of entertainment. It's not a side hustle. Be responsible and play what you can afford to lose. And last but not least, we have our vending machine with a couple more drop boxes on roof. This is a drone accessible vending machine, so you can sell items across the map. This is our cost for the entire base. Nice and cheap, easy for those small groups. Second up is that cost in box amounts. And lastly is the total upkeep spread between that 1 TC. Now we can jump onto our tutorial. Alright, let's start this off with a 2x1 footprint. And we're going to be walling in our jump up. Triangle frame goes at the top here, and that's going to make sure that we don't accidentally place a floor where we don't need to. Essentially breaking the override bunker. It's going to prevent us from messing up, so we get that frame down nice and early if we can. And from there we can upgrade everything as I do. And a furnace will do for our jump up in the beginning. And a TC can go down there as well. And from there we can jump out on top. And we'll seal off this exit. Start with 2 walls. And a half height jump above. And we can upgrade all of this. And once again, there's going to be a triangle frame above. because we have another bunker here, and again we want to make sure we're placing the floor in the right spot. Then from there we're going to go around and add triangles off of every square, just like that. Make our way around to next to our jump up. We can add in another jump up, and this is at the opposite side of where TC is. Then again we can wall that in and just give that a single door. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our honeycombing / a drop down for the bunkers as well. So they're going to need a half height in there as well, and you can hide loot in there. Around the back side we're just simply honeycombing and nothing half height here. And then back round over here, another half height shelf in there. And there we go. Upgrade all of these. And then once again they're going to get frames, just for the same reason that we've been using frames all the way throughout. And there we go. On this end, opposite of the entrance, spot for a vending machine with a single door in front, giving us a little bit more storage. And now we can move on to doing the override bunker. We're going to start by doing a short build out followed by 9 triangles. Cap it off with a square. And we can break everything. Then we're going to head back 4 squares backwards. And we're going to place this triangle and we're going to pull it towards the left. You can see that was wrong. Now we can see the blue lines are flowing to the left side. That's what we want. So go ahead and upgrade that to metal. And then we can go ahead and break our squares. And repeat. From here, 9 triangles. Cap it off with a square. And you'll know you've done it right if you're heading back the way with 4 squares. If that closes the gap, then you're good. Making sure we're pulling this back towards our feet. We're making a idea of this, making sure we're pulling it back that way. Then from there, double half wall. And a floor from this angle, we're ensure that we're placing it the right way. And if we can get these floors down with the frames there too, and we can break them via placing a roof, that means our bunker is correct. And we're good to upgrade everything on the triangle and our square. We can do that build out now. For our little seawall section, building it out with a couple triangles here with a raised triangle in the middle. We'll upgrade all of this. In the center, we get one more triangle, and that's going to let us place our roof again to break our bunker. And then we just follow out this footprint here to close up the little seawall. And we can crank out these bedrooms, get some frames in to connect everything up. And we've got our Patrico peak as well. If you're noticing that it's kind of hard to run through here, if you just rotate the frame to get rid of that conditional, and you should be good to go from there. And then you can just make that bedroom on the same side. Again, we'll rotate that frame to make sure we're not getting stuck. Spot for a turret here with a frame in front. And frames are all at half height here. Nothing touching the foundations. And there we go. That's one side done. We're going to go ahead and repeat everything that we did here on the opposite side. Don't forget these 2 jump ups as well. And now we can repeat everything. So we do a short build out, then 9 triangles from here. Cap it off with a square. Break everything. Head back with 4 squares. And we'll place that final triangle, snapping it to the left hand side. And if those lines are flowing to the left like they are here, it's good to upgrade. Then we'll break everything and repeat. Square, 9 triangles. Cap it off with a square. And we're heading back with 4 squares again. Just like so. Again, making sure we're pulling that back towards our feet to get that right placement on there. Now we'll place in our double half wall and the floor from that angle. And we'll ensure the bunker is working. It is. Terrific. We can go ahead and upgrade our triangle. Double half wall, get that upgraded. And then from there, we can do our build out for that seawall. Remembering our raised foundation, that's important. It's going to make sure that we can still place our roof. Get the spot for the turret in there. Just like that. And complete the rest of the footprint around the sides. Same section over here. And we'll get that Patrico in too. Get those frames on top. And a couple of jump ups. Don't forget you'll need a triangle in the middle as well. A wooden triangle. And then from there we can complete the footprint by adding our breach peak in. Breach peak is pretty simple. Half height windows and triangle roof ramps joining together there. Give us a nice peak. Add in some floors and connect up with some low walls. And that allows us to look back up towards the base, check and see if anyone's up there running around. And we'll do that on this side too. Added an extra floor here as well to create that funnel with the bedroom, giving us a little bit more space in that kind of shell section, make it a little bit more safe in there. Alright, next we're back onto the main core now, and we'll go ahead and wrap the rest of our 2x1 in walls. Then from there, just repeat as I build. We're going to have a loot room here, and then we're going to have our furnaces there, and then a loot room on the left. Now it's important to check how we're placing in these floors. We want to place them that give the max stability essentially. So just take your hammer out and check if that's a decently high stability before you go ahead and upgrade anything. We're dragging it back towards the main core. However, on this section here, we want one more bunker on the second floor. So we're going to place that towards the override side, just like that, allowing us to get that extra placement. Double check that you can get a floor inside of the frame at the top. If not, you'll need to break that triangle there and replace it in the correct placement. Once everything's working as it should, we can go ahead and upgrade everything. Now we're working on our roof. We'll start by walling in this section over here. We can do the same on the opposite side. And then we'll move over to our roof exit. Starting off with a window. And we'll double door that out. And then we're going to wall in our spot for our loot room. Over here we'll use that as a peak, and you're better off placing that on top of the half wall before any floors go in. Just in case, again, you're not getting the floors on the right stability. You can see here that's an insanely low stability, so we're going to upgrade that and change it to the opposite one. Again, we're just checking these floors on the two sides where our override bunker is, making sure that we keep the floor stability nice and high, because there will be two different options for you to place. If that wall's red, just do a small build out like I did, and you'll get it placed. Again, we're checking stab on these triangles to make sure that they are in the right spot. Then we can move on top of our breach peak and build this little section here. It's going to give us some nice angles on roof. I'll do the exact same thing on the opposite side. Over on this end again, we're going to raise up our frames. And over here. And then from here we can do frames with windows on top. And you're going to want to make sure that the embrasures are facing basically soft side in the way. And that's going to make sure that we can't fall through that gap and make sure nobody can ladder through that gap either. And we'll do that exact same thing on these sides as well. And this last one here. Next we can add in all of our floors and we'll upgrade those to metal. On this side here it's going to be a little bit weird. Just be careful where you're bringing that triangle in through from. We'll do a square here and then bring it through. Again, got to be careful with our triangles, because they could try and place down the one with the low stability, and we don't want that. Same on this side, we're going to carry it through from the square, and that should give us the maximum stability triangle, which is what we're looking for. And then we'll break all that to a we don't need. We'll do a low wall with 2 windows on either side. And that's going to give us room for that chain link peak later on. Don't forget this shelf before you add in the roofs. That's going to let you get that turret down on the roof. And you can do the same over here as well. Next, we're going to raise up frames for that chain link. Just like that. Don't forget to upgrade that. Then from here we can add square roofs on top. And then triangle roofs on top of here. And we'll just repeat that all the way around. Okay. Lastly, a spot for a windmill on either side. And that's going to wrap up our base. Go ahead and add externals on this, and you can join the Discord to figure out how. And once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully you boys and girls have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. This base is an absolute banger, and I hope to see a lot of solos trying it out on servers. Remember to subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See you in a bit.